So this is pretty funny. I'm not too surprised by this result. Emio is topping the Japanese pre-order charts. This is in spite of people hating the game for no reason. Um, People really hate the game because it's an anime game and not an original game. Like no, like Nintendo's a Japanese company. Anime is the art style they use in Japan. They're not going to use the Western art style. I'm sorry. It's just not Nintendo is not gonna do that. Okay, they're not gonna westernize the games to make these people happy. Okay, and I was thinking that we're gonna have Famicom Detective Card before and Smash Rock in the bag. What would be a move set for characters from this game? But I think if they really want this franchise to be known outside of Japan, I think that's an obvious choice. People would be upset either way, but it's because, well, again, these are the Smash fans. They will rather have Sante, a series that nobody cares about in Smash, over an actual Nintendo IP that would be better appreciated if more people knew about it if it was in Smash Bros. Attendees and anime hating Nintendo YouTubers are in absolute samples. And of course, the Detective Club is fully revived and will continue to remain Star Fox and F-Zero will never get a new game. I wouldn't really I would really hold your horses on that. For example, no one ever thought that Paper Mario would come back, like the true Paper Mario, not the newer Paper Mario games. Because I liked Origami King, I liked the story, I liked the characters, but it was still not as same as something like Super Paper Mario or Thousand Door, where we had these, grand epic stories. Super Paper Mario, of course, the gameplay is not the best in the world, but everyone who likes the game likes the story. The story is the main reason people like the game. Okay, people like the storyline. Thousand Door has a pretty good story. I actually used it until I replayed the game again. I was like, oh yeah, Paper Mario Thousand Door story was it's not as great as the other one, but Paper Mario Thousand Door also has a pretty good story. Yeah, they fleshed out a lot of the side characters in the game, your partners and stuff. A lot of these characters in the older games are fleshed out. Origami King, you just have the villain who has and Olivia, and of course Bobby, who's probably one of my favorite characters in the entire game. Yeah, they also have pretty good stories, but it still has nothing to compare to the original Paper Mario. I think they were trying to create a Paper Mario story with restrictions in place. Okay, imagine Origami King, but it had all these original characters in the game. Okay, imagine having all these original characters in the game, but yeah, don't count out as Star Fox. I think the problem with Star Fox is the fandom. The fandom complains about every single game that comes out. They're never happy. They're never pleased. Okay, and then F-Zero, well, they don't exist. I think what they should do is just remake F-Zero from the GameCube one, and see if people actually buy it. See if people actually have interest in F-Zero, like they did with Pikmin, and say, hey, I think they're doing it like F-Zero technically get a new game of Star F-Zero 99. That's technically a new F-Zero game, whether you like it or not. But I think the next step forward for F-Zero, if F-Zero 99 was successful, is remake F-Zero ZX and see if people will buy it. Okay, I think that's the next logical step to reviving F-Zero. Okay, and I think same thing could happen with Kid Icarus. They're gonna remake Kid Icarus Uprising first, and then make a new Kid Icarus game, and do that. I think Nintendo definitely has a bunch of IPs that have a lot of potential. I made that in the other video very clearly. Kid Icarus is one, Star Fox is definitely one, F-Zero is one, and CB Robo is one as well. I think there's a lot of potential that I think Nintendo really dropped the ball on that IP. It can even include something like Custom Robo as well. That's another IP with a lot of potential. Because who wouldn't want to play as robots fighting? Okay, there's a reason why Transformers is so popular. Okay, and of course, even like Nintendo's newer IP like ARMS. Okay, Splatoon, obviously Nintendo saw the potential in the sales of that game, and the game sold pretty well. And guess what Splatoon is now? Okay, all of Nintendo's lesser-known IPs, including Famicom Detective Club, have a lot of sales potential. The Famicom Detective Club could become just as popular as a game like Ace Attorney, okay, and become such a same cult classic and following as Ace Attorney. So for people who are interested in that IP, I think they should definitely give it a chance because I think this series could become as popular as Ace Attorney, as it's a very similar type of game. And no surprise that Japan is already buying the game because Ace Attorney also sells pretty well in Japan. And I think that's the closest game you have to it. It's like a detective style game as well. And I know Japan loves those types of games like Ace Attorney or Detective Pikachu and stuff like that. Goodbye.